Hi everyone and welcome back to Curly and Yarny. My name is Milena and we are currently in spring, and usually every spring I weave a baby blanket, and so this year will be no exception to this because we will also be weaving a baby blanket today. So buckle up and let's get started. So a few weeks ago, I was commissioned to weave a baby blanket for one of my friend's baby shower. And that friend of a friend is expecting a baby boy. So I realized this was the first time that I was weaving a baby blanket, especially with a little boy in mind. So I got a little bit excited and I planned two different types of patterns for this project. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted to weave the most. So I put it up to a vote on my coffee page, and my coffee members voted for the second option. So today we're going to be weaving a random plaid and houndstooth pattern. So bear with me, it would all make sense as we do it. For this project, I've chosen to weave it with polyester yarn from Lion brand. So here are the colors. So that this yarn is from their Feel Like Butter collection, and when you touch this yarn you really do realize it feels like butter. So I got this yarn in 4 different colors. So I've got here this light gray, which the name is pale gray. I've also got this light yellow, which the name is lemon. I also got this one here and the name is dusty blue. And finally, I got 2 balls of this yarn, which the name is, this one I just don't remember, ice. So 2 balls of ice. So this is the color that we'll see the most inside of the blanket. I have chosen polyester for this project for the simple reason that it's very easy to maintain. So from what I heard, when you have a baby, you have no time to start trying to hand wash very nice merino wool. So I feel like polyester is a great gift for parents. So I will be weaving the baby blanket on my rigid Heddle Loom, and my rigid Heddle Loom is 32 inches wide, so I will be weaving the whole width of it. Also, I will be using my 7.5 Heddle. So this yarn here is a size 4 medium or worsted. So I find that this size works very well in this Heddle size. So I will simply single the threads inside of the Heddle. For the pattern, as I've mentioned, this was voted upon by my coffee members. So here's a screenshot of what it looks like. So as you can see, there will be kind of 3 sections, but I want them to be a little bit random. So we have a section that is more like plaid. We also have a section that is houndstooth, and another section where it's just normal stripes. So I didn't want to make all of this very standard, all equal. I wanted it to have a bit of a random look. So the houndstooth is centered in the middle, but that's the only thing that is centered. So when I will be weaving, I will be trying to replicate the warp into the weft, but I will also try to have a bit of fun, since this is the idea of having kind of a random pattern. If ever you wanted to redo the same blanket at home, please know that I will provide all the information about the pattern on my website, and I give it out for free. So I will simply link my website in the description down below, so you could just go there and check it out. I would also provide a link to Lion's brand website where you can get the same yarn. So now let's talk numbers and let's talk length of the warp. I will want my blanket to be at least 1 meter once it's wet finish end of the loom. So for that, considering for the shrinkage, I know that I will want to weave for at least 1 meter and 10 centimeters. I would also add to that the waist yarn. So I usually allow for about 50 centimeters of waist yarn. And since that this pattern is kind of a random pattern, but at the same time I'm not exactly sure how all of this pattern will sum up inside of the weft, I don't want to be left at the middle of a pattern and then having no more warp left. So I will add a little 10 centimeters extra just to have a bit of wiggle space. So in total, my warp will be 1 meter and 70 centimeters long. So I believe that I have said everything that there is to know about the preparation of this project. So now we can just get it started. So I will set the room for direct warping and we can start this. Now I have just reached the part of the warp where I'm going to do the houndstooth. So let me just pause the wiping right here. So I am about to start the warping of the houndstooth pattern, and I just want to do a little explanation of what houndstooth is. So this is not really a houndstooth tutorial, but just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. So houndstooth is a very nice and simple pattern that can be easily done on rigid Heddle looms. So the beauty of this pattern is that it's simply stripes of 2 different colors interlacing each other. The only thing that really needs to be respected with this technique is that each stripe needs to be only 2 threads wide. So for this example, I will have 2 blue threads, 2 gray threads, 2 blue threads, 2 gray threads, and so on. And that's pretty much it for the houndstooth. So let's watch how I do it. Also, I have made another video in which I did houndstooth for dish towels. So if ever you wanted to learn a bit more in details what it is, I'm going to link that video down in the description. So I have warped for 3 loops of blue, and now I'm going to do the first stripes basically, so the first loop of the houndstooth with the light gray. So I will be alternating in between the light gray and the blue for this houndstooth pattern, and since that the houndstooth is only 1 loop, well, I do not need to be cutting and reattaching the yarn every single time. So the blue yarn is still attached to the loom. I haven't cut it, it's hanging there. First I'm going to attach this and we'll start this. I'll show you. Now I leave that yarn hanging here, and I'm going to take the blue yarn where it stayed. So it stayed here, so I'm simply going to take it and loop it. Now it's time to go back with the gray. So the gray is still hanging here. I'm simply going to take it now. To try to keep the 2 balls of yarn as far away from each other, this way they don't have the tendency to tangle together. Done with this yarn for now, but I will keep going with the blue. And now I have to open the second and last ball of green to finish the warping. Only 8 loops left. Now the weaving can start, so I will be starting with this the green that we find on most of the warp, and I will be trying to replicate what I see in the warp into the weft, going from left to right. So now we have a big bunch of green to weave. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I'm leaving you on this cliffhanger of me mid-weaving. So in 2 weeks I will be releasing a second video about this project where I do the whole weaving of the blanket. Also, I will be focusing on the way that I change colors within that project because this yarn is a little bit challenging in that part, but don't worry, I will explain it all while in the second video. So thank you all for being with me today and for watching this video. I hope you're all well and see you soon. Bye bye.